All right, what do you got for your sits?
My first sit, same game. Look at that. Another good segue.
Wow.
I am sitting
it.
Adam Thielen. Yeah.
So you actually have him on your bench.
IRL. I do. So yeah, he's got a bum foot. These last 2 weeks haven't been the best for him.
Is that why he didn't have a catch last week till like the end of the game?
He ended up only with 2 catches, like only 3 targets too. So I don't know if like he just wasn't open at all.
Well, I played against Jefferson. So that was fun.
He got a few more targets.
Maybe a few.
Yeah, and their bye next week, so there's like maybe they'll sit him to get 2 weeks of rest. I don't know. But yeah, and like I said, Carolina's got a good defense, so I don't like that matchup. And it kind of seems like Jefferson's kind of emerging as the true number one.
I mean, that was starting back to last year, bro.
Right. But like Thielen was still getting touchdowns and good red zone looks.
Yeah, I think he had seven-ish touchdowns, or maybe 9 touchdowns last year.
I'm concerned this week until he proves me wrong.
Yeah. No, I like that. I'm on board with that. My first sit, Julio Jones against Buffalo. So Julio's practiced twice this week, hasn't played in a couple weeks. I'm not too scared about the matchup, but what I am scared about is Julio's history coming off injuries, especially now that he's 32, 33 years old. I feel like he's going to be on a snap count. I mean, he didn't even practice the last couple of weeks. He didn't step on the field. I don't know. Is he at home eating fucking Oreos? What's he doing? That's what I would be doing if I was
veteran day show on Sunday, dude.
Not my first rodeo. On Monday Night Football, again, I think they will have to throw against Buffalo because Josh Allen's an animal after his rough start to the year because his week 1 was super pedestrian.
Yeah, against the Steelers.
But he's picking it up. They won like 40-0 last week. I mean, it was a high school football game. But yeah, with Julio, I mean, he's got so much potential and you know what he can do, but it's like if you absolutely have to play him, you're going to play him.
Yeah.
But if it's one of those things where you're like, I might be able to play this guy, you should probably lean that way.
So, yeah, and like the Titans, what they want to run the ball with Derrick Henry more often than not, and then plus they have A.J. Brown, which like doesn't help Julio just from the start. So, I mean.
That felt like a wasted 4th-round pick.
So their second or third option, yeah. And if he's not totally healthy, major cause for concern.
Major. And honestly, for a player like Julio, you'd think it's like, dude, just get yourself right. Don't come back until you can play like a full complementary of snaps.
And that division is so bad that I think they're still leading. And like, so they're going to be okay if he wants
to. Are they 2-3?
I think so. And I think they're in the first because they got, the Colts who just lost they should have won last Monday night.
Yeah. Wow. Texans. Lamar was an animal on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh
dude,
my
500
God.
yards by
400 yards over 4. Was it 500 yards passing?
No.
400 yards passing,
60 rushing. Yeah.
And like 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns.
So they blew that one. So yeah, I think the Titans end up winning this division. It's just
going to be
maybe not this week against Buffalo.
Right. And it's not going to be a pretty division win.
No.
And they do. Like this might be the division where we see how many teams are there now? Like a 9-8 team make the playoffs.
Right.
So, all right, what's your next sit?
My next sit is Chase Edmonds against Cleveland. Cleveland's defense is really good. Yeah. Didn't show it last week against the Chargers. They let up 40-something points, so that was kind of odd.
And to the running back position too.
Yeah,
Eckler had 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I think they're going to get things a little bit right. Plus, Edmonds kind of has banged up shoulder, and last week against the Niners, he only had 6 carries, which is kind of odd in a game they were winning all day. So it was 6 for 15, which is so Edmonds has been pretty good, but again, he gets his goal line touches taken away from Connor, and if he's not fully healthy, I don't like that very much either.
So that's what I was going to say is I feel like James Conner's been touching the ball a little bit more, and especially around the goal line. Because for him, he's pretty much a touchdown dependent fantasy play.
Right.
And you'd think that I think the problem with Arizona though is Kyler doesn't need to check down. Right.
No.
Very rarely does he have to go to Chase Edmonds. You have AJ Green, you have Rondell Moore, you have Hopkins, like
Kirk.
Yeah, Christian Kirk. I mean, if I'm him, that's my 5th option.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
So,
he's been spreading it around too to a lot of people. So
that team's good, man.
yeah, their offense is really
I hope
good.
they don't fade like they did last year.
Yeah, hope for Kyler's health.
Yeah, that too. So my next sit, Damien Harris, running back for the New England Patriots. They're playing Dallas this week. I think it's going to be a game flow issue for him because I think Dallas is going to put some points up. And at the same time, he's been super ineffective. Like, I
Yeah.
think his last couple weeks, he had like 10 points, 3 points, 4 points. Like, what? You're starting running back? And I think isn't he hurting a little bit right
Yes,
now?
he is questionable. He may not play this week. It's
Oh,
still up in
really?
the air, I think.
Well, if he does play, I think
Yeah.
he's someone to avoid.
And the Patriots offense in general, I thought they were going to use him a lot more and just play good defense, but they just haven't been good anywhere. Mac Jones is fine, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. And Cowboys can put up a lot of points
In a hurry. So, I mean, and honestly, the only fantasy football player I think I would start on the New England Patriots, maybe Hunter Henry because the tight end position's thin. Hunter Henry. And then Jacoby Myers,
Yeah.
number one receiver, which he has not scored a touchdown since 2018.
Yeah.
You're a professional football catcher, and you haven't scored a touchdown in 3 years?
I think that's just like he's a between the 20s kind of guy.
Well, it helps because he's getting double-digit targets every week.
Mhm.
You know, he's up north of the 70-yard mark, over 5 catches, but like low ceiling.
Yeah, right. You're getting a lot of. You're hoping you're in a PPR.
Years, right?
And you're getting points for each catch.
Right. I mean, he's like a desperate flex play, and that's why.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of desperate flex plays,
yeah, love it.
And offenses that stutter, I am sitting Allen Robinson.
Oh,
sorry, it has to be done.
Yeah.
Jair Alexander plays for the Packers, and he's really good at football.
He was hurt last week.
Was he?
He's hurt. I don't know if Jair's playing, but either way, there's plenty of other issues.
Yes. The other ones being that he's averaged less than 4 catches a game, and he hasn't topped 60 yards. 62, I think it is.
Aren't you glad we used the franchise tag on him?
There's a lot of things.
Made him like a top 5 receiver.
So, yeah. And plus, him and Fields haven't clicked not nearly as well as they should have.
No.
Yet.
But Jair Alexander is out.
Oh, so maybe it's a better matchup, but I'm still.
And Kevin King is hurting.
The only Bears offensive player you're maybe playing
Khalil
is whoever's running back this week.
Yeah, because we're going to run the ball 35 times to try to keep Rodgers off the field.
That's right. And it still won't matter.
And it won't matter. No, because he'll score whenever he gets the ball.
Yep.
All right. My last sit, Tyler Lockett against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And reason being is we're going back to that game. Geno Smith under center. Lockett's your deep route guy. So we haven't seen Geno do it. I mean, there's a good chance he can air it out. And, obviously you're probably going to end up starting Lockett realistically.
Yeah.
But if you're in a situation where like you have 4 great receivers, right? But you only have 3 receiver positions. If he was on your team, I'd be like, yo, this might be the week you sit him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's kind of how I feel with my Thielen situation. I'm benching him this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And if you think about it, you're a backup. Aren't you going to probably throw it to somebody who's ginormous, like your tight end, or DK Metcalf? Just as big.
Yeah. Hey, do me a favor. Box that guy out, and I'm going to throw it at your chest.
Be the biggest guy in the field in the defensive backfield. Okay.
Done.
Yeah. So I would expect DK to be the guy, but you're right. Like Lockett, he's like kind of like even with Russell Wilson, like high ceiling, low floor.
Totally.
So I don't. If you have a worse quarterback there, it's not feeling great about it.
Nope. And again, how long is it going to take for this offense to mesh, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the backup in. So won't find out until Sunday. But one thing I will say is I am super disappointed in the way Pittsburgh's been playing this year, and it really just comes down to Ben. Najee Harris is a beast. They have the weapons on the outside. Ben just can't move. He can't throw.
They gotta. I don't. Yeah.
They should have drafted a quarterback 3 years ago. What have they been doing?
it's a victory lap for Big Ben. I don't know. Yeah, they have to figure that out, especially next year. I don't know if it's going to be a draft or what.
It's gonna have to be.
Or
I
like
mean,
a trade for someone. You're right. I don't know. There's not a lot of options. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they'll try to steal your boy Taylor Heineke.
maybe, or they can come take Nick Foles if they want.
No, they're trying to improve their quarterback position.
They can unload that contract for us. That's fine. Hey, Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles.
Not dressing anymore when healthy, Nick Foles.
Okay, fine. Take Andy Dalton.
Take them both.
Yeah, I really don't care.
Yeah, for a bag of footballs.
Let me be the backup. I could be just as bad. Actually, those guys are all way better.
Well, maybe Dwayne Haskins is the answer.
You know who I could be just as bad at? And please explain to me why this man is still in the league. Nathan Peterman. Why is he in the league?
Is he still a Raider?
I don't know. He threw 5 picks in 1.5. In 1.5.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's so many quarterbacks. Give someone else. Like, I'd rather take a flyer on someone I've never heard of than a guy that you knows exactly what he's going to give you.
Good point. Like,
whatever, man.
Anyone else,